Hi, in this video we will learn how to use the prevalidation GPO provided by Centrify. And the use case for this GPO is to provide emergency access to administrators in the case of Active Directory not being available. This is very common if you have an environment with thousands of servers or you're spinning up machines and destroying them in a public or private cloud scenario. In that case, it's very unlikely that you've logged in before, therefore you won't be able to log in with cached credentials. This is very easy to set up. Centrify already provides a GPO, and the GPO is under computer configuration, policies, Centrify settings, direct control settings, account prevalidation. And it works this way. The agent will use a service principal name assigned to the user to determine who's going to get pre-cached credentials. And in this case, it's by default is set up as preval. Okay? The next is your option. You can assign this GPO individually to users or to a group in AD. Ideally, for better administration, you would do this to a group in AD so you don't have to deal with the GPO anymore. In this case, I'm going to use a user called Diana Worth. Her user in AD is dworth. And I'm going to pre-validate her. So when I join a system that she has never logged in before, in the case of offline access, she'll be able to log in. So I've enabled the GPO for her. The next thing I need to do is to add an SPN for her. You can use the set SPN utility provided in Windows. Very simple command. And all I'm doing here is saying add this SPN to this user. When this is successful, what you will see is that the user will have an SPN in their attributes. So you can look at it with the ds query command, or you can go into the user attribute editor. For this, you have to have the proper view in ADUC, and then you can look for the service principal name and notice that it's in there. At this point, this user is ready to be pre-validated. However, I need to do it with a system that she's never logged in before to test in a real way. I happen to have a CentOS machine, and if I do an AD info, this machine is not joined to the domain. So I'm going to go ahead and join it to the domain now for the first time. Right? This system is joining to the domain right now. The cache has to be initialized, and if I do an AD query, I do a clear. I can see that only myself and Diana can log in. If I issue the last log command and I try and find her, notice that she's never logged in before. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to exit out, right? And I'm going to actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and do this again. And let's disconnect the network, and I'm going to issue an AD info command. What you'll see is that the AD info command is going to take a little while because it's actually trying to contact a domain controller. But notice that it's saying exactly what I explained in the previous video. It's unavailable and is disconnected. So let's go ahead and take it for a ride. If my user, Diana, wants to log in, notice that she's been prompted for an AD password. And here, she was able to log in, right? And if I, if I look at the, what she can do, DZ info, notice that she has, a role that allows her to run any command as root, right? So she should be able not only to log in while there's no domain controllers available, AD info -t, notice that we didn't find anything. And if I, do a -y net state, it's going to tell me that I'm having trouble, unable to connect to any server. So I hope this video helps. The prevalidation GPO or the prevalidation parameter is really important for a production environment. Notice that if you ever lose complete access to the server, let's just say This is a caveat. This is only going to work if the Centrify daemon is up. Although it's very unlikely that it goes down, it's possible that at any point your machine may go to single user mode. And